because I felt like the disability field is not mentioned as much as it's supposed to be frequently mentioned. And I called the name of the new podcast that I am actually doing right now. As you guys may see in the title, for those of you who are viewing right now, not that anybody's viewing yet, but in case, it is called Disabilities Unlimited. And basically what we are going to be talking about on a weekly basis is I will be talking about different things that are accessible for people with disabilities, different services that are available to people with disabilities as well. On top of that, there may even be a few gameplays occasionally, and most definitely there will be special guests as well. On top of that, before we even get started, today on the show, I will be talking a little bit about different things that are available to people with disabilities, such as games, as mentioned. And one of which I will be talking about is Audio Game Hub, which most people know very well, I shall say. And I will also be discussing different options that are also available to people with disabilities. And on top of that, I have a special guest on the show who will begin us off as well. And I could not be any more excited to introduce him to you guys more than anybody, because the reason why I say this is because him and I have not only been friends for quite a while now, but we also work for the New York State Office of People with Developmental Disabilities together as well. And he is actually also, quite frankly, my assistant director, because I actually had hired him when I had signed up for the Board of Representatives. But, not to get too carried away, may I introduce my good friend, Eric Bazance. Welcome to the show, Eric.
Thank you, Travis. I'm excited to be on the show.
Okay, so in this half of the show, we will be talking about what is called self-direction. And for those of you who are disabled that don't know what self-direction is, it's a program funded by OPWDD that allows people with developmental disabilities to gain access to funding that is based off of their needs. And basically what that entails is whether it be hiring your own staff, which is one of the big things you can do with self-direction. Also, you can hire different people to work with as well that can help you with transportation and so on and so forth. And on top of that, they can also help you, whatever staff you hire. They can also help you with other daily tasks if needed as well. But to begin it off, there are a few pros and there are a few cons, I will mention, as there is with anything. And one of the pros I actually have mentioned is hiring staff. So why don't we talk a little bit about that, actually? Not just about hiring staff, but also about self-direction in its same format. So, to start it off, For those of you who are looking to go into self-direction, whether you are through a group home or in your own apartment, or if you just need direct assistance, one thing you do have to do is you do have to contact what is now known as your care coordinators, and they will have you sign a packet which allows you to hire a broker. And the broker that you hire is basically certified through an agency. And that's another thing you got to choose too, as well, is you got to choose an agency to go through for your self-direction. And on top of that, you also have to hire an FI, which can be through the same agency if decided, or you can choose a different agency for the FIs. As a side note, excuse me, you can also hire staffing through that same agency as well. But I will hand it over to my good friend Eric to explain the details of what you shall look for in self-direction. I will hand the mic over to you, Eric. So,
All right.
here you go, buddy.
Thanks, Travis.
Take it away, buddy.
So, I hope there are some parents and siblings and family members of people with disabilities watching this Comcast, because I want to explain something. Self-direction does not mean that a person must do everything all by themselves. What it really means is it gives that we as individuals with developmental disabilities have more freedom to say who works with us, what we want to do with our lives, and what, most importantly, who we live with in most cases. Unfortunately, if you live in a group home, you still have to deal with the agencies still decide who works in your home and who lives in your home, which I am actually working so hard to put a stop to. But through self-direction, that will happen very, very soon. You actually have to hire your staff through the agency according to where your FI works out of. Excuse me. So I'll give you an example. I chose to go through People Inc. One of the good things is you can hire what's called a life coach.
Oh, yes.
I love working with my life coach.
Oh, I can tell you do, my man.
Another thing you can hire is what's called a self-determination assistant. And for those of you who might be moms and dads or grandmas or grandpas or siblings who don't understand this at all, a self-determination assistant is a direct support professional who can come to your home to help you with daily tasks such as cleaning, cooking, teaching you how to cook, teaching you how to make your monthly budget, helping you to go pay your bills, taking you grocery shopping. You can also do fun things like going out for breakfast or out for lunch. You can go to the movies. You can go to the park. And on most cases, the self-determination assistant can work with more than one individual, but usually not all at one time, which is different from how it is in the group home, where in the group home the staff have to work with multiple people at once. Self-directed staff don't do that.
Correct.
They can work with more than one individual at once if two or more people agree to have both their plans work that way. But under most circumstances, they don't. Put this back over to you, Travis.
Thank you very much, Eric. I will mention too that once again, if you do look at potentially going toward the self-direction route, I'm gonna actually say it's a really big step, but you're gonna have a lot of advantages. And for a lot of parents that have children that are going towards self-direction, and they also can help children too. But if you do have children that are looking for going to self-direction, one of the things I will mention is that it's less stressful on the parents, whereas if the parents just handle the children all to themselves, which I have seen happen before in most cases.
Live 13 minutes 38 0 watching now 0 likes.
Okay, sorry about that. I was just checking to see if I had any viewers yet. So far, no viewers. So, getting back to what I was stating is that you do have to go. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is that you do actually have to go to what is called a session, a self-directed session, where you get to meet with a group of people that might perhaps be already in the self-directed group, or you could even meet the same type of people that are looking to get into self-directed as well as yourselves, as I have, because that's actually, on top of that, OPWDD automatically, when you sign up for self-direction, you also get what is called a liaison, which you don't really see him or her very often. You almost never really see her or him, depending on which you have, because all they're doing is making sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. And in the same sense, while you're in those sessions, for those of you who do plan to go to self-direction, you can actually ask questions about what self-direction can do for you at the sessions as well. So, if anything, what I would suggest for anybody that's living in an agency, if you don't like the setting that you're in, go with self-direction. Because I actually have a really interesting story to tell you guys that are potentially going to be viewing. So, most of you may not know Access VR, which I will actually talk about in a future podcast. But I'm actually pretty soon going to be starting in Access VR, which not only did I sign the paperwork for it, but also my agency did, who I had for self-directed, which is, of course, Family Heritage Christian Services. Now, what I will mention is that, and this is only a brief introduction to it, what Access VR does is they help people with disabilities, whether you be blind or whatever disability you may have. They basically help people with disabilities get into different types of settings, whether you would like to get a job that's not day-hab based, because I'm pretty certain that most of you guys are in such day-hab positions. And I know how frustrating that can be, because I've been there and done it myself as well. But getting back to what I was explaining is that they'll help you get a job, whether it be a paid job or a volunteer job, whatever you want to get for job representatives. You can also get into different events with them. You can get into classes. You can do schooling with them. As a matter of fact, one of the things I'm about to do with Access VR is, due to the fact that I never graduated high school, I'm actually about to go through Access VR for my GED training to take the GED test. But getting back to self-direction, like I had mentioned, that for those of you who are going through a hard time with your agency, whether it be in the group home setting or apartment setting, whatever it may be, go with self-directed. I strongly recommend it to anybody. And going on to our next subject, which also, of course, has to do with self-direction, is transportation. They can also help with transportation as well, but that's actually going to be our next subject. Now, for those of you who are in the state of New York, I don't know about any other states, but throughout the state of New York, I have noticed a lot of changes, and I'm really impressed with the teamwork that my friend Eric and I have done due to the fact that we do work for the state of New York in office. And
Transportation is has been absolutely horrible. If you have a disability and you live in the suburbs,
oh
you
yeah,
live way out.
and
Unfortunately, your bus service is pretty limited.
oh yeah, and I'm pretty sure that my friend Justin will be watching pretty soon because him and I have gotten into a pretty big discussion about that quite frequently. But going forward, I will mention that there have been a lot of improvements. One of the great improvements I will say I've noticed is we are now going to be able to, instead of having the buses ask us to pay them a certain amount of money if we get suspended, even if it's for no reason, the only time you would have to pay them for your suspension would be if, say, you actually did something in the wrong, whether it be you missed a trip or you did something out of the question that may have sparked a conflict of interest, which there are many things that could happen on a bus these days. That would be the only time you would have to pay for a suspension and to make up for that suspension. But if, say, perhaps the bus suspends you for no apparent reason, like let's just say that you were waiting at the bus stop and the bus didn't show up until, say, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you were supposed to get picked up at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Basically, what you can tell them now, because of the fact that we did actually pass a law just recently regarding this, you can now tell for misclaiming those written mistakes, meaning for misclaiming you for those suspensions. And I honestly couldn't be any more excited for that, because I really feel that it's a good thing for not only us as people with disabilities, but also for the whole community. And the reason why I say that is because there have even been people that are sighted and are in wheelchairs that have had that problem before too. Not just with suspensions, but also there have been times where drivers have mistreated people with disabilities. And that I have noticed many times before. And one thing I will mention to all my viewers, I stand up for people with disabilities. That's technically part of mine and my buddy Eric's job.
That's right. We stand up for people with disabilities all the way.
Of course. And we actually have one big phrase we use whenever we get into a territorial fight. We must stand together.
And also, nothing about us
without us. Oh, yes. And the reason why we say that is because we truly need to stand up for not only ourselves, but our whole community. And I've seen more and more and more of it, and I'm proud of it. So, due to the fact that this is only the first podcast, this might be a little short today. But I do have one more thing to show you guys. So, for those of you who are looking for some games to play or something like that don't know anything about the game field, there actually is an app that I actually do use almost on a day-to-day basis. And I cannot say this as dramatically as I do because of the fact that I seriously do use this app on a day-to-day basis.
It's darn good too.
Oh, believe it or not, I am. And I will show you when we get right to it. And the app that I'm actually talking about is Audio Game Hub. And one of my favorite games that I'm very excited to show you is The Hunt. Which there's not a lot of hunting games for people with disabilities, especially for people with visual impairments. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab out my old phone, which is my LG K20 Plus. Don't mind the lighting, because I do have the lighting on. Whoops. Sorry about that, buddy.
Okay.
All right. And now let's get to business. And most of you may know what the LG K20 Plus looks like, because I actually, for those of you who saw my tutorial on it when I first purchased this phone, you may actually remember some of the features and so on, etc., as one of my favorite characters used to say. So I'm gonna boot up my old phone. So I'm gonna set down the phone for a little bit.
Rotate device.
Sorry about this, guys. I gotta plug this into the charger. Meaning the LG K20 Plus.
I wonder if we can try getting it on my phone.
Actually, we can.
Yeah, let's see.
And actually, one of the things I will do is I will even teach you how to install it.
Cool.
As a matter of fact, why don't we do that now?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, for those of you who are viewing, everybody grab out your phones that want to check this new app out, that haven't purchased it yet.
And this is the E5. This is the Cricket E5 Android. It's one of the older phones. I didn't have as much money to work with as Travis,
Device.
unfortunately. So, let's see.
All right. Let me get this voice started up.
Yeah.
Rotate device.
Oh, you got to clean up your screen a little bit.
Oops.
Yeah, you got to clean it up a little bit when you get a chance.
Yeah. I don't know how, man.
Collapse the best Messages 8 hours ago. 2 more notifications. Cricket software update.
This thing was doing systems
Version
updates.
OCPS. Android secure. Install time 10 minutes. You will not be able to place or receive phone calls, including emergency calls during install button. Later button.
Okay.
All right.
iHeartRadio. American Top edit box search. Self tap and Cricket.
All right. So let me see if I can.
Motorola Note. Cricket. 650 battery. Health. Bluetooth on. Cricket. Navigate up button. American Top clear query button. Double tap to activate. 652 battery 60 health Bluetooth phone notification missed calls.
Yeah, I want to see who keeps calling me up at
Cricket out of list.
who keeps calling me up at 2 and 3 in the morning.
How do you feel taking your Motorola home?
Hold on a minute. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
You mind clearing out your apps real quick?
Not at all. As long as you show me how.
Okay. Hold on.
Notification shade. Motorola and Cricket.
Hold on.
653.
Sorry about this, guys. It's gonna take me a little bit longer than I thought it would.
It's not gonna. I'm not gonna lose anything, am I?
Oh no, you won't lose nothing.
Navigate
Okay.
up button. Outlet. Cricket. Google Play Services notification. Verify your contact email.
Let me actually just restart the.
Motorola notifications. American. Show all album songs. Overview button.
Ah, there we go.
Okay.
Back button.
Now, what button were you pressing here?
It was the bottom right corner.
Okay, you gotta show me which one.
Open Google. Dismiss iHeartRadio. Dismiss Google. Dismiss iHeartRadio. Dismiss.
All right.
Google Play Store. Google Play.
Aha, here we go.
Play Store. Show navigation drawer button. Search voice search.
Audio Game Hub.
Play Store.
So, I'm gonna rotate the camera toward.
App Audio Game Hub. Clear button.
I'm gonna rotate the camera toward his
Double
phone.
tap to activate. App Audio Game Hub. Sonar Interactive. Star rating 4.7. In list 27 items.
All right, and for those of you who are on your cell phones, that's what you want to click on. It's Audio Game Hub, Sonar Interactive Team. So I'm gonna double tap.
Details for app Audio Game Hub. Navigate Google Audio Game Hub. Image of Sonar Casual Install button.
And then I'm gonna click Install.
Complete account setup. Review your account to continue installing apps on Google Play. Continue button.
And then I'll just click Continue.
Complete account setup. Eric by Sunset Gmail. Add a payment option. Add credit or add redeem. Skip.
Skip.
Downloading a large app. Check download using Wi-Fi only. Checkbox. Not checked.
Turn that off.
Proceed button.
Proceed.
Play Store.
And as you just heard,
Double tap to activate.
it also said that he is downloading a large app.
And what button did you press? Is this the same button that we use for Google?
No, it's
Okay.
it's where it said proceed.
Okay.
Google Play. More Audio Game Hub. 737 kilobytes, 133 megabytes. Progress bar. Verified by Play Protect. Image. Cache. 0. Cancel. Contains. App. Sleep sound. App. 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 In-app purchase. App. Sleep. App. App. Contains ad. Cancel this. 1%. Casual. 1%.
Now, just to let you guys know, it is going to be a slow download. So, for those of you who are also downloading like himself, it is a wise idea to occupy yourself with, maybe something else or something of some sort. But on the other hand,
Screen off.
once we get to this, it's going to be really easy to understand. Because it's going to be so easy to actually set up to where you'll actually start understanding it more. And also, you, on your first trial, not even your first trial, sorry about that, on your first day, you actually get free coins for anybody that likes to gamble. For example, that's what you get coins for, is for the casino games. But I'm going to warn you guys, though, that's the only game that is ad-free. All the rest, if you want to have an ad-free experience, you gotta buy the full version of the games.
Cancel this down. 4%.
So, I'll hand you back your phone.
Okay.
We're still downloading.
Google Overview. Photo app launcher. iHeartRadio. Home screen 202. Actions. Shortcuts. Remove. Uninstall. Move item. Double tap to activate. Double tap and hold to long press.
So,
Contact apps list. Open navigation drawer button. Double tap to activate.
I'm going to teach you guys how to actually play it. It's going to be really simple. And I actually have the ad-free version. So let me plug this bad boy into the charger.
Rotate device.
Gmail. Multi-page view. Welcome to Gmail. One app for all of your email. Swipe with 2 fingers to switch pages. Voice search. Apps list. 6 Tromodo app. Move to row 5 column 1. Home screen 1 of 2. Shortcuts. Move to row 2 column 4. Item move.
What you want to do is you want to look for Audio Game Hub. So now we're in the second hour of the show.
Wallpapers. Double tap to activate. Double tap
And
long press. Home screen.
now we're going to talk a little bit about Audio Game Hub.
Home
And I will be showing you guys
screen 1 of 2. Messages.
how to play it. How to play some of the games.
Heart. Selected. Message from 111-3006. Configuration notification. Your MMS service settings have arrived. Open the configuration message and save the settings. Message from 28 million. Alert add to contacts. 111-30. Talk back on. Portrait.
Okay.
As you heard, that was my phone that told me talkback. My old phone, that is, that told me talkback was on.
And mine is too.
Yep.
Screen off.
And I still have my old vocalizer voices.
Register vocal. Please register. Please register. Please register vocalizer TTS. Please register vocalizer TTS. Please register vocalizer TTS. Please register vocalizer TTS. Please register vocalizer. Please register
Hold on. Sorry about that.
Please register Vocal Eyes or TTS. Please register Vocal Eyes or TTS.
Back button.
Oops. Sorry about that, you guys. I was trying to see if my phone would activate it, but
This message.
it's asking me to register.
Notification shade. Open
So I'm gonna show you guys from my buddy.
record audio. Cricket here. Did you know that you can see your voicemail messages and check them in
I'm gonna show you from my friend Eric's phone instead.
Device.
I'm gonna get my phone over to Travis for a minute, for a little bit,
alert add to
see if
contact.
it's actually downloaded.
English US 30. Back button. Home. Back button. Messages. Message from 28,813.
Alright, so
Additional file for Audio Game Hub. Message from message from 2,854. Thank you for being. Notification shade. Cricket. Image. Message from 2,000. Image. Message from. Start new conversation. Button. Out of list. 70. Cricket. Motorola. Google Play Services notification. Verify your contact email. Motorola. iHeartRadio. Phone notification. Download manager notification. Additional file for audio game. Notification shade. Download manager. More options. Message from 2000. Image button. Message. Start new conversation button.
oh, shut up,
Cricket.
messages.
Message. Cricket out of mess. Start more options button. Mark all as read in. Download manager notification. Additional notification shade. Download manager messages. More options. Message from 2,854. Thank you for being part of the Cricket Nation. Click the link to learn more about managing your account. Cricket out of 7:04 p.m. Ring volume controls shown. Swipe up to dismiss. Back button. Home. Over. Volume controls hidden. Gmail. Messages. Dismiss Gmail. Open. Dismiss messages. Open Google Play Store. Google Play application info. Dismiss Google Play Store. Dismiss messages. Dismiss messages. Dismiss. Open Google Play. Dismiss Google Play Store. Open Google Assistant. Contact. Gmail. Dismiss. Dismiss. Google Play Store. Google Play Store. Navigate. Google. Tune Blast. LTE phone. Battery 70. Cricket. Screenshot 2 of 15. In list 50. Welcome to the funniest cartoon. 7:05 p.m. Tune Blast.
No, that's not what I want.
Double tap to activate. Double tap it. Welcome home. Google Assistant.
Open Audio Game Hub.
Hi, Eric. I'm your assistant, here to help you throughout your day. Here are some things you can try saying to get started.
Moto notification. Controls. Default. Bluetooth on. Health. Battery. 7. Cricket. Moto notification. Google Play Services notification. Verify your contact. Motorola. Google Play Store notification. 24 apps updated. iHeartRadio notification. Google Play notification shade. Google Play Store notification. Personal update. Open explore page. Google Lens. Type mode button. Voice search button. Tap speak. Double tap. Cricket. Open explore page. Personal update. Moto notification. Google Play. Motorola notifications. Notification. Recent. Motorola. iHeartRadio. Phone note. Download manager notification. Notification shade. Download manager. Personal update. Open explore page. Double tap. Voice search.
Okay, Google. Open Audio Game Hub.
Navigate to work. Help me. Add an event. 7:07 p.m. Out of list. Bluetooth on. Phone notification. Here are some. Back button. Out of list. Double tap. Home button. Overview. Google Play Store. Google Assistant. Google Play Store. Play Store. Welcome to the funniest cartoon puzzle adventure. Double tap to activate. Motorola. Battery 50 seconds. Bluetooth on. Notification shade. Search Google. Google Play. Search more options. Tune Blast. More. Search Google. Navigate up button. Back. Audio game. Voice search. App. Audio game. Details. Uninstall. Open. Allow audio game. Deny. Allow audio game hub to access photos, media, and files on your device. Allow. Viewing full screen. Install Google Play Games. Google Play Services. Headings. Default.
Alright, so as you saw, he has to install Google Play Games. I'll hand you back your phone.
Okay.
So, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna do it from, you want to double tap install?
Okay.
Google Play Games.
Right here, right?
Yes.
All right.
Install button.
Out of list.
Install.
Can't reach Google at the moment. In list. 2 items. Talk back off.
Word.
Top fit. Chat options. Switch camera. Button. Chat filters. Options. But live. 49 minutes. 10 seconds. 0 watching
Okay,
now.
Google.
0 like.
Download Audio Game Hub.
Don't you mean Open Audio Game Hub?
Okay, Google. Open Audio Game Hub.
Audio Game Hub.
YouTube.
Audio Game Hub.
Finish. Button. Switch camera. Button. Chat options. Button.
Open the Xbox app and select settings greater than gaming and make sure record game clips. 6 things you can do with the game bar from Windows 10. Digitize it. Like
Open Audio Game Hub.
button on it.
Open.
Sorry about that, guys. I thought I'd get Audio Game Hub to work today, but for some reason it's not working for some reason.
Take device.
Yeah, it's not working on my phone either.
So I think we'll do it another day. But anyways, this has been Disability. This is Travis Laska signing off, along with my special guest Eric Bazance.
You can rest assured I'll be back, Travis.
Of course. But other than that, please watch as every week I'll be doing new podcasts every week. And join me next week. I'll be on the show again, same time, same place, every Saturday at 7 p.m. Not 7 p.m. Sorry, every Saturday at 6 p.m. And good night, everybody.
Live 53-0 finish.
Does that mean you're not going to go to church? No. Oh, that's right. You go to church.